He is back. The definition of evil himself, Nemesis. It is a good day to be a Mark Millar fan. It came out a few days ago, but I've been saving it for the weekend. If you're new and you don't know who Nemesis is, well, he could be described in simple terms as the evil Batman. Not a Batman who used to be good. He's not even affiliated with the DC universe in any way. He is just like Batman because he has gone around the world and trained how to do the most evil things possible. That is his goal, just to be evil, the pinnacle of evil. If you would like to know more, click the link in the top right corner. But if you don't, here's a quick recap. Nemesis joins the Fraternity, a group of supervillains who came together to kill every superhero in existence. They rule the world. In the most literal sense, they rule the freaking world. This was not the first time they killed every hero. They did it before, but heroes are like antibodies. When they are needed, they are born. And Nemesis was the answer to that. He was created for the sole purpose of killing every hero, and he did it spectacularly. Gifted with the weaponry and tech of the Fraternity, he launched his attack on the heroes of the world, and he decimated everyone. Even Eggsy from Kingsman was not quick enough to dodge this guy. But the ambassadors, they took it the hardest. They were a group of heroes that just wanted to do good, but he was a bona fide hater. Such a hater that he captured one of the heroes to draw the rest in. And when they came through, he shut down access to their powers and he butchered them using their own powers. He froze them, crushed them, he blasted them. He had no mercy. And the lost hero took it the worst, a buster sword to the throat. But this is nothing compared to his boss, the killer, the butcher. If you have watched my Wanted video, you know who Wesley Gibbons is. And if you don't, click the link in the top corner. They were good at what they did. But thankfully, the heroes got back on their feet. And when they spawned the block, they dealt with Nemesis. They beat him down. They blasted him. They roasted him. They used every form of weaponry they had. Matter of fact, they went for his family jewels. They hated him that much. They broke every bone in his body, still leaving him alive. A cripple. And when it was time for the final battle, they tossed his body to the ground at the foot of his master. He was broken, but just like Batman, his body was a good weapon, yes, but his greatest weapon was his mind. And being a cripple gave him enough time to plan out his next move. And his next move, I'm sure, is going to be chaotic, because we pick up with this new issue with him being revived. We start off with this issue with him being spoon-fed in the hospital. The guards put in place to protect him, well, they didn't like him at all because they knew what he was capable of. Even if he was crippled, they wanted him chained to the bed. But while all this was playing out, someone was watching from the hallway, and Nemesis noticed. He knows when someone is aiming to kill him. So, given the opportunity, the would-be assassin entered his room, and Nemesis told him, "It took you long enough. I was waiting for when you get the courage." But the assailant didn't say much. He just came to Nemesis and dumped a whole lot of trash on his chest. Nemesis was offended, but the assassin went on to explain that, "Do you remember the massacre you committed in the hall? If you're confused, click the top right corner and watch my Nemesis playlist. And if you don't have the time, Nemesis killed a whole lot of people, innocent and guilty. He butchered everybody. No one was left. And sadly, the assassin's kid was one of the people he killed. She was a normal person. She was a waitress. But Nemesis was simply chewing his chicken as this guy pulled out a gun. Nemesis told him point blank, "You better use that gun because my boys are coming. And once they are here, they are going to kill you in such a painful way, I can't wait to watch." And he wasn't lying because his boys were here and they were killing everybody. I mean, every cop, every innocent. Nemesis noticed the gun though. "This is a special gun. How did you get it?" The assassin made it clear that someone reached out to him. "Apparently you have enemies." But Nemesis didn't care about all of that. He had a plan. He was crippled, but he could still chew. and in his mouth he had chicken bone. Spitting it out like a bullet, he blinded this assassin. I mean, Nemesis was freaking crippled, but he could still do this, and he wasn't even done. He then proceeds to jump on him and eat his face. My God. While he was having lunch, his boys were mopping the floor with every single person they saw. And one of the nurses asked for mercy. He said it was a friend of Nemesis. So they said, okay, come, let's go see the boss. And they met him while he was having freaking dinner. They asked him point blank, what should we do with this guy? He claims he's your friend. And Nemesis simply shouted, blind him. And since Nemesis was the boss, they did as he told them. He got the hell out of there, but he was worried because superheroes were going to track him. But these men had taken precaution. They left no traces, and even the traces they left behind, they made sure to blow up the whole goddamn hospital. This put a smile on Nemesis' face. Nothing makes him happier than freaking damage. Now, if you're wondering where they took Nemesis to, well, they took him to a blood cult run by a sorcerer who apparently had specialized in healing Nemesis. He was constantly brought here during his training, and this guy had the experience enough to heal him every single time. But this time was going to be different. Nemesis was crippled. He was damaged by superhero beatings. It was the type of damage that would be freaking impossible to fix, but he could do it. All he wanted to know is if Nemesis could pay the price, and Nemesis could. So the wizard said, dunk him in the water and spill blood. After tasting the blood, he knew the type of damage Nemesis had. He revealed that this would take months to fix. He revealed that he would need an abnormal size of blood, 50 lives for every day. And Nemesis said, of course, bruh, 50 people will have to die just to fix Nemesis's body. He was evil. But while he was recovering, the nurse was blinded. Someone who thought he had Nemesis's trust was on the bed, unable to see. But people stood before him, people who had the same enemy as him, people who wanted to see Nemesis dead. They promised to give him the technology that will let him see again. All he had to do was join them, and I'm pretty sure he joined them because he was going to need their help, because Nemesis was fixed. He was back to form. He has gotten his body, but he still needed his wealth. His plan needed a lot of money. So after Lilith, the daughter of the sorcerer, informed him that his butler was outside. His butler is Maggie, by the way. If you don't know her, let's just say she was given the option to kill her husband or join Nemesis, and she chose to kill her husband and join Nemesis. Simple. After being led to the cloak of darkness that was supposed to take you anywhere you want to go, he met his beloved butler, and she said, where the fuck have you been? And he said, I've been around, just planning for revenge. Sweet, ridiculous, insane revenge. But first, I need money, an outrageous amount of money. And I need to find assistance, because the last time I did everything alone. This time, I won't be alone. This time, Nemesis is going to find himself a sidekick. I love this Nemesis character, not because he's a bad guy, because obviously he does awful shit, but he is just fun to read. Let's go.